Broadcasting from the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, with JB, Real Estate Rome, and True Mac. This is For the Culture.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy True Mac. I got my boy JB and my brother Real Estate Rome, and we do it for the culture. Broadcasting live from Vegas, like we always do. Level 9 Studios. My boy Scott Vera behind the camera. For the culture, not only do we go over hip hop and sports and what's going on in pop culture, but we also want to bring a sense of ownership and being entrepreneurs. So today we brought in my brother Carl Littles from the original Barbershop.
What's up? What's up?
And a little later in the show, we're going to have my boy Real Estate Rome get into some questions with my brother Carl on how he got to his position as a business owner. But today is a couple days past March 9th, and we want to always pay homage to those who left before us and those who left a legacy. And one that did that most definitely and was inspiring to the game and definitely inspiring to me myself was Christopher Wallace, also known as the Notorious B.I.G.
Yes, sir.
Biggie Smalls.
Me and JB used to have arguments or debates behind him and who I think is the greatest, being Tupac. So I asked him to come and give us a little talk about the legacy of Biggie.
Thanks, Mac. Man, where do I begin, man? Obviously, I had to rock the Brooklyn hat in honor of the greatest. So many memories, man. I remember being back 95, 94, first seeing this fat chubby cat on TV with a yellow basketball jersey on that said Big on. I'm like, man, who is this cat, man?
Right.
Like, we was fresh off of Snoop and Dre and, really, really loving and feeling the East Coast. Pac was my guy. And then I seen this dude come on TV with this song Juicy, and I was just like, man, that beat is knocking, like, whoever he is, he tight. So, I peeped the scene, watched him out, and I think that when he came back with Big Papa, I was sold. I was sold, you feel me? Not only was the production tight because they was taking, classic, R&B hits and turning them into new hip-hop hits, but his flow and his delivery was just unbelievable.
Right.
So, it's unbelievable. But nah, man, I just, just listening to Big and just thinking that, he's been gone from us for 21 years. I mean, obviously it dates me because I was in my 20s when he passed.
That's great.
Just, we lost a legend. I enjoy watching his movie Notorious. I enjoy seeing his cameos and, and All Eyes on Me and, the different things. I got the opportunity to see him live and in person before his untimely death.
Wow.
Man.
On that first tour, obviously when they had dropped Ready to Die, I saw him at I want to say it was MGM Grand, and the show was phenomenal. I mean, Biggie Smalls is the illest. So I think that my favorite cut of all time is probably, if it I don't know, man, it's so many, but really, really, One More Chance got me going. But Hypnotize is just, Hypnotize is dope for many reasons. Because when I was a little kid, long before hip hop, I used to always love the song Rise.
Okay.
And that's where they got the sample from. And a lot of people didn't know that. And I remember I turned my sons onto it. They was like, just in awe that, because that's what hip hop is about.
Absolutely.
Taking, rapping over the break beat, and the way Angeletti broke it down on the beat for Hypnotize, I was sold, and I'm all in the production. But I just wanted to reminisce a little bit on my guy, the Notorious B.I.G. I definitely want to pass the mic and get some of you guys' thoughts on the greatest of all time.
Go ahead, Carl. You got some thoughts about Biggie?
Oh man, I'm the heir of Pac. It's a West Coast thing. I'm a West Coast baby.
Dig it.
Biggie, we wasn't really, them first couple albums of Biggie in my era, in my generation, we was on Pac. Pac made us dislike Biggie.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That sucks. That's terrible.
True. And it kind of put me back a little bit because I wasn't even trying to even listen to him until he had already passed away.
Right.
Which is a little disappointing. It's somewhat like how I treated Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want to watch him once everything happened with him and Shaq. Same effect.
Right.
But for the most part, of course, he was a fantastic lyricist, told great stories. But Pac just touched home for me.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Pac touched home. But it's an argument that you can't pick and choose on one of those.
It ain't no winner.
It ain't no winner.
Nah.
No.
If you like Biggie, you like Biggie. If you like Pac, it's hands down. Two of the greatest to ever do it.
The two greats.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So with me, I was a Pac fan all the way, but my closest partners that I kicked it with, they was all from New York. In high school, like Scott from New York, all my polo partners, Rasheen from Philly. So like they turned me on into like to listen more for metaphors and punchlines, and Biggie had that, and like the stories that Big told. I put it on social media the other day. Like, I was probably in 10th grade when Ready to Die dropped. And my boy, Wesley Wendell P. Williamson, Wesley Williams, that was my partner. He used to listen to Ready to Die all the time. And it was just, like, too abrasive. Like, it was raunchy a little bit at certain points. And I was like, I don't, like, this big dude's crazy.
Yeah.
And, but then, going into my 11th grade year, I worked at the Forum Shops. They had this motion simulator ride called Cinema Ride. I worked in there. And one of the dudes that worked there, he was like a East Coast influenced West Coast dude. And I think the show dropped from the soundtrack to the show. And Big had Me and My Bitch on there. But it was different from on the album. Mm-hmm. On the album, same lyrics, but the beat was different. Puff remixed it with the Isley Brothers. No, not the. It was Computer Love.
Yeah,
the remix.
I do remember that.
Right, and then my dude put me up. Like he let me hear the remix for One More Chance before it came out, and that's when I was like, nah.
Yeah.
And then I saw the Big Papa video, and then the One More Chance video came, and I'm like, this dude right here, and. At the time, it really wasn't, like, with Ready to Die, when it first dropped, it really wasn't so much Pac and Biggie beef. So I was able to get into that. When Pac passed, and after he had, Pac went after him, and then Ready to Die, Life After Death came out, it was kind of like unfair to even think about it anymore, like the beef, because it was like Ready to Die. I don't even know if I can't recall exactly the timeline, but I know that the dropping of Life After Death and Biggie actually dying was like a very, very close timing. And so when it happened, we couldn't even trip out no more. I was just really trying to hear the stories.
Yeah.
And that Life After Death, the niggas bleed just like us.
That was.
It ain't too many more stories that I can say.
That's
like rap stories.
Yeah.
Niggas bleed I sit there and I'm just like, today's agenda. Got the suitcase of Indocentra. Go to room 112. Tell them Blacko sent you. And I'm there. Like
you can see it.
Not only am I there, I talk about Tone all the time. Rest in peace, Tone Hurd. Tone had his sister's boyfriend. He lived over in the coast. We buying some stress one night over in the coast, and he pull up on the car and we bumping Biggie, and he say, "Y'all need to bump niggas bleed just like us." Yeah. And we like, what? Like this, because we only bumping the radio songs. Yeah. And he said, "Nah, put that shit on record." Yeah. And I'm talking about change the nigga life. So as far as rap go, like and Big Papa is. He want, like, God rest his soul, he is up there as one of the greatest with 2 albums. Yeah. And still can't be touched because of the way he delivered it.
Well, before, I know.
Go ahead, Ron. I can go all day.
Oh no, man. I mean, for me, obviously, I feel like I'm the JB said 21 years ago, and it made me think, damn, I'm the youngest person at this table right now. I was 13 when this happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Wow.
at the same time, like, you know, my brother, and I think I said this last week when we talked about Goody Mob and stuff like that, like my brother put me on to the Midwest, the East Coast whole kind of genre early. And so when the NWAs and the Tupacs and all of them came out,
Right.
it was just, I was just kind of turned off from them. So, you know, it was all a dream.
Yeah.
I used to read Word Up magazine when Biggie came out, man. It was just one of those where it's just like, man, like this dude is spitting some serious lyrics, and he captivated an audience. You know what I mean? Like he just, I mean, the movies that they put out, like just don't tell the true meaning of what he's done for our culture.
Yeah.
And not to take anything away from Pac, because Pac was the same way, and the highlight is on Biggie right now because of where we at right now. And I think that Biggie, man, he put a big stamp on New York music as a whole, in so many different genres, like just from a lyricist to gangster rap to everything. He was able to provide like a genre for those that wanted something different, because he was able to flip it in so many different ways, man. And so, you know, big up to Biggie, rest in peace. And if he was here today, man, it'd be interesting to see who was still in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we switch subjects, I just I got to touch on the fact that, like, when I was a kid, my uncle put me up on King of New York, the movie.
Yeah. Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And when I heard Biggie call himself
Frank
White,
Yeah.
like, that's when I was like, man, this, he owns something. Like,
What a great movie, right?
Hey,
I mean, we watched that. We watched that.
Absolutely.
I remember that.
I mean, you can see, we watched every
all the
mob
gangster movies.
movie together, probably. Like, but that and that, I think Pun said it one time, like, that Biggie was a 300-pound sex symbol.
There he was.
Right.
You feel
Ashley
me?
the classic.
Like, Big was in the. I just saw something because, you know, it's been on everybody's timeline because March 9th just passed. But just like that verse on the 112 joint, they first single, Only You.
Yeah.
Just like Escada Dun Dada, players stay splurging. Game so tight they call it. Come on, man. Like,
But again, and there's only
don't do him like, okay. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
there's only a couple of dudes that, cause Pac obviously, and don't get me wrong, before Big, Pac was my guy. Like, Strictly for My Niggas is
sure.
one of my favorite albums of all time. So, but lyrically, there's no comparison to the Notorious B.I.G. Period. I don't care.
Thank you.
I don't care. I mean, it might be a couple of guys that could come
Man,
close.
we could debate about this
but again,
for a long time.
But we can,
For a long
and I know
time.
we'll, you know, what the good thing about this show is that we get a chance to do this for an extended period of time. Public service announcement. But no, I just wanted to say rest in peace to Love Bug Starsky. He was obviously shouted out on that. He died a little bit over a month ago. I actually got a chance to see this dude. He was here when I went to that hip hop concert at Mandalay Bay. They brought him out on stage and
what's up.
you know what I'm saying? So to be able to see a rap legend who had gotten shouted out, obviously, we know who Red Alert and, you know, Kid Capri and all those guys is. We had never seen Love Bug Starsky on the West Coast, so to get a chance to see him before his
that's crazy.
untimely demise
Yeah,
was
that's
awesome.
crazy.
Was awesome. And,
Yeah,
you
rest
know,
his soul.
obviously he's a legend because he was bigged up by the Notorious One.
no question. So I'm always gonna try to keep my ear to the street with the new music. So it's been so much new music. I ain't gonna even lie, say I haven't been able to keep up with this week because like it's 80 albums dropped on Friday. But any of y'all listen to Tory Lanez?
I did not get a chance to listen to Tory Lanez.
I haven't
Like,
listened to
I
his
mean,
music.
it just,
Like,
I'm not saying
him
this
in
new
general,
one,
yeah,
just in
fine.
general.
Yeah.
Have you listen to his music?
No.
And I'll be one to say that, like, I've heard his radio music, and I seen him freestyle on the internet, and like he freestyle like he insane. He really, if this dude coming off the top with what he go with, like he's on another level. My boy Sean Rose. I was kicking it with him the other day, and he was just telling me how he's like Sean, like 29 years old. He younger. He really, and he's an MC, so he really into keeping up to date with the younger generational music. So he always can just lace me, and then I go fact checking, and he's right all the time. So I had to tell him one time, man, you kind of be on point with your shit, right? So he was telling me the other day, like he ain't the biggest Tory Lanez fan, but his hustle, the way he got on, is something that he that he really like about him. So I saw he dropped a new joint, so I listened to it. I know that him and Drake had an issue. They both from Toronto, I believe, and they sound the same. I won't in my opinion. I'd keep it a buck. He sing and he rap. The first song that I can recall him having is that. If You Love Me, it had the Brownstone sample. And I was turned off because like Brownstone taking me back to 1996-ish, where I was, you couldn't tell me I wasn't the hottest thing running around Las Vegas. And I didn't think it did the song justice, especially with auto-tune, because he sings with auto-tune. Now, and that's the difference between him and Drake. I think even without the auto-tune, I probably think bro can really blow. Like he can sing his octaves or the notes that he hit. He go a little higher. He can go low, but the lyrics, the rap shit is visceral. He really spit it. Like he spit it, and he even he touched on it on one of the songs that he got on his album. I was just playing it via Tidal. It's called Hate to Say. It's produced by Play Picasso. He touched on like maybe if him and Drake didn't have their issues, like they'd be he might be in a better space, because when you got an issue with the hottest dude in the game, like who got all the clout, it's hard to combat that. I think that because Meek was so hot and hard, and he got such the backing, is the only reason that he was able to sustain the little debate or beef that they had. And Drake kept it 100% music anyway. But like for dudes who ain't got that machine behind them, like to go at the number one dude it's hard to, especially in the corporate game. It's hard because they ain't gonna let you. I take that back to LL and Cannabis.
I was just getting ready to say,
like,
check
there's
Cannabis.
No way that LL can out-rap Cannabis. God bless
no,
LL. He's a legend.
Not even on his own song.
Not even close.
In 1997,
yeah,
it wasn't a dude on the mic that could touch Cannabis.
No.
Like I fight with dudes on the internet today that it's the corporate structure that let Eminem blow and not Cannabis. But not because Eminem was able to go at Cannabis still. Like I don't know if you've heard the songs, but they had beef, right? But Cannabis ain't on no label. He ain't got nobody behind him.
Nor did he. Yeah, he didn't have.
So
he didn't
I
have
can't
Interscope or Dr. Dre behind him.
I don't have the
him.
machine. You feel me? So I can't fight that. That's like a small nation fighting the United States. What the hell's the Philippines gonna do if they just chose to say we're gonna rise up against the U.S. Without a nuclear bomb? True. You feel me? True. So with the Tory Lanez and Drake situation, I think it kind of maybe like drowned him out a bit. But like not to just focus on Tory Lanez, Logic dropped a new album, Bobby Tarantino
Man,
too.
That Logic, if you ain't heard that, whew.
And what's the boy 44 name?
44 more.
What's the boy name? Lil Boat, Lil Yachty.
Oh God!
I knew he was gonna say it, and I'll bring it up because last episode. No, that's what he calls it. That's the name of the album, Lil Boat 2.
Man.
Right?
That went right in the trash.
And as I was putting the shirts together tonight, I listened to Lil Boat 2.
Okay, so you lost 5 brain cells.
Because the thing about it is, like, so I'm listening because I saw it on Hot New Hip Hop, Bobby Tarantino is probably gonna have the number one spot on Billboard with like 120,000 units moved. And we talked about this last episode.
Came strong.
How like Nip had number 4 album with 53,000 units moved, but like Migos you move 120, 130, 150,000 units the first week, but we say they music ain't like hip hop. If like that's the discussion, right?
Yeah.
So Lil Boat, they say he gonna be up there, top 5 somewhere. He projected to move 70,000 units. That's still more than Nipsey Hussle.
What are y'all doing?
And I'm still.
What are y'all doing, people?
Excuse me. I'm still saying that Nipsey gonna have the hottest album of the first quarter.
Yeah.
Still not. And I listened to Bobby Tarantino too today, and it's hard for me to listen to other music. Fonte put an album out. Fonte from Big Brother, and when I'm on my way to the office, like if I'm finna go get and do some lead generation, or like my thing is I've been knocking 100 doors a day this week to build up business. I need motivational music, and it ain't nothing new out right now that's motivating me more than Victory Lap.
Okay.
And I can still come back to that after listening, and it's hard for me to listen to the other new shit because I'm still like, I'm in this zone.
I had to turn it off.
You feel me?
I had to. And I'm, that's not me, but I damn near was about to start cripping.
Right.
Let me turn this off for a minute.
Yeah.
But Hustle and Motivate. Oh man, that song right there. I'll put my fist out the window and drop a tear.
Hey, bro, when I gotta push that maximum weight by myself, cause I'm at the gym early in the morning by myself, and I'm finna max one time.
Hustle and Motivate. You throw that on.
Start see walking about around the building.
I stand there, and I'm just like,
I ain't gonna throw no signs up, but you already know what it is.
Yeah.
About to go on the make some breakfast. I'm about to say neighborhood to my dog. I can't do that, but also listen to My Ambition because I'm on one. The one with him and CeeLo.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, man, we talked about CeeLo last week.
Yeah, we did.
And like at 5:30 in the morning, I had little rituals I do, but after I get through it, that's when I try to scroll social media. This morning, I'm seeing it, and I catch an interview, and I'm like, damn, we should have saw this interview before last week. It's an interview on Hip Hop DX. It's called Soul Food, and it's with CeeLo Green. And he kind of go through some shit about how he came up, and it was just crazy. One thing that he touched on was that how T.I. is saying that he the founder of trap music.
Well, okay.
Cujo Goody. CeeLo say on Thought Process, Cujo's the first rapper to refer to the trap on wax. Right? And then T.I.'s first time on TV was on Rap City with Goody Mob on their tour bus. Right? Okay. So he's verifying that
adapting to
T.I. is the founder of trap music through their connection with Goody Mob. Right. And it was a dope ass interview. Go check that out if y'all can find that. Hip Hop DX. But that's that joint with CeeLo. I was saying that cats, like younger dudes, they ain't gonna even know that CeeLo can rip.
Can go.
Can really just go.
Can go.
Because right now,
who CeeLo is at this point.
Because they gonna hear that joint and they just hear him singing.
Yeah.
And they just know him as the singing man. CeeLo on another level, man. It's like 15 minutes.
Barkley, not CeeLo.
Yeah, exactly. But with that Lil Yachty joint, it's 2 or 3 tracks on there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's 2 or 3 tracks.
How many you got?
He smiled when he said,
man. You got like 14, I think. It was 2 or 3.
Because when I go on my Spotify, man, I always look at the Friday new releases, and I saw Lil Yachty, and I was like, hell no.
Hey, well, shout out to the label over there with Q, CEO, and Coach K. This dude ain't on the radio, and they moved 70,000 units.
Wow.
Who?
Yachty, his new shit ain't on the radio, and they moved 70,000.
He's got a pretty decent following now.
Yeah, but still not.
Social media game is
I'm listening to it. Like my son's 17.
Yeah.
Right. He kick it with he's a private school kid, and the young niggas at the private school, they like it's like some Beverly Hills 90210 shit. Like it's like
it's different. They're
the crew, bro. Like, and it's crazy. Like it's insane. Like don't send your kids to private school, especially in high school. But they got like they little crew, and they all rapping. Like the dudes who graduated last year, they found how to get on the music, and these dudes rap just like Yachty them. I come down the trap with the thing. I come and I bang.
Oh,
she
God.
give me that thing.
You could already stop.
You think you can hang?
Stop.
Like that type of shit. And I'm sitting back, and my son in the back just, and I'm like, the fuck it? No, stop it. And then I put on some thought provoking music, and he's like,
I don't get it.
So
I don't get it.
One thing that I know, you know, being that I've gotten to the age that I am, is that everything comes full circle. What goes around comes back around.
Absolutely.
Style. You know, right now we're right in the between the 80s and 90s style renaissance.
Yeah.
So maybe, and I'm just putting it out there, maybe 80s style hip hop is what is back. Because if you take Curtis Blow and them, Sugar Hill and them, that it's almost the same real basic rap.
True. Because if you go with the rapper's delight, 100%. You on point.
Right.
If that's what we saying.
No.
As far as the
I mean, the
basics
basis of it, I can see that. But I'm like,
but it was a different time.
It was a different time, and now hip hop was fresh and new then.
But
you know, so maybe this is.
I'm saying,
I
but
mean,
when
I don't
it's
know. I'm
used
just
as
throwing.
I can see
when
the
it's used
music
as a
being
ploy is
Right.
when I'm saying it's wrong.
I can see the
My
music
bad.
being like that 90s. All I want to do is in the zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. Like there's nothing else that you got to say. Like it's very basic there. If we're comparing it to that Rapper's Delight, I can't say that it's going there because there's still somewhat of some substance behind Rapper's Delight than what is going on right now.
Yeah.
All I want to do is in the zoom, 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 and a boom, boom.
Okay.
Just shake
your rump.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I mean,
It's
a little bit of that.
dumbed
It's always going to
down.
be a little bit of that
If
in
we
hip
comparing
hop.
it to that, okay, I can rock with that.
Right.
I can rock with that. I can say what's going on right now is the thoughts and the bots.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the
that's
rock
crazy. But the last.
Hey, okay, cool.
That sound, I hear that shit. That.
Yeah.
It's like
So
just
much.
walking through the mall, like these kids, and I'm like, do y'all not know English no more?
No,
like
they don't.
That we sending bird calls today.
Yeah.
Like that's
they don't
that's
even
insane.
know what it means.
Like that's retarded.
Well, Birdman did that. What was that?
Yeah,
That was signify what
exactly.
I don't know.
And at the same time, I saw some posts. That like a while ago that said, you know, my era listened to the drug dealers. Y'all era listened to the ones that took the drugs.
Yes, I've seen that.
And I was
Parents took
like,
the drugs,
to the
and that's
drug
what-
users.
yeah, the drug users.
They're the drug users.
Oh, Michael Rappaport just went off on this little Zen
did he?
kid.
He just-
He just went
Michael
off on a
Rappaport
little
is crazy.
homie.
If y'all ain't never listened to Michael Rappaport, man, just check
Hey,
him out.
he rap for the culture.
he
Michael
goes
Rappaport,
in.
you are for the culture.
Oh, no doubt about it.
100%.
Michael Rappaport, I support you 100%.
The last new music I'm gonna touch on before I throw it to Rome to holler at Carl is Currency. Y'all listen to Currency?
I have.
Currency. His new shit is called the Spring Collection. He got this joint with Joey Badass. Put it down on your way home.
Download it.
Check that out if you ain't heard it. And Currency stay on the grind. Like Currency lives a superstar's life, independent, underground, dropping mixtapes, and will tour all over the country and hit Europe off a mixtape that he gave away for free. And got everybody throwing the Jets and Jet Life apparel, like that merch and all that, the following that he has, because it's true to the core. He came to Hard Rock, I think, on the Strip like 2013, and I went and checked him out, and I hadn't really heard him since he was with Wayne, and he was just Currency the Hospital. But my boy PJ, he was like, nah, Mac, because I had one of my artists, it was probably Marion, he was opening up for him at the show, and shout out Marion Wright, and we was there to peep the show out, and I'm talking like the crowd packed out. Knew every word of every song, and I'm asking the youngsters like, "Hey man, what's the name of what CD is this song?" And I'm downloading on the spot, like, cause I hadn't been in the currency, and it's the same kickback. I smoke good weed, and I drive these old school cars, and I got some new schools too, and my broad is real fly, and we just live fly shit, and like we just cruising. Some you want to listen to, just cruising around, like on a day that the weather was like yesterday before the rain. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's currency.
Put the top down.
But I'm gonna kick it to Rome. We got my brother Carl. I asked Jerome to interview him because I've been knowing Carl since like I've been trying to put the year on it like all week. Like I figured like okay, I tried. It was the Spartans, right? So I tried to. I signed up for football first when we was Mighty Might, and I didn't play. Ooh. I was like second grade. So I wouldn't play basketball. Me and Booby went joined the 76ers, and then third grade I played 76ers again. So I'm like, it had to be fourth grade that we was with the Spartans. But then I'm like, it might have been fifth because sixth grade is the second year of the Spartans, and I remember the homie Trump. I know I was in sixth grade second time with the Spartans, but so I'm thinking fifth grade had to be like 89.
Yeah.
88, 89.
Yeah, it had to be.
Because I'm a year older.
90.
It was 90.
My first year was 89. And then after that was 90.
So 90.
Yep.
So it was fifth grade. Yep. Because sixth grade, I did the repeat, and that's when Sean Johnson came the second year. So I was like, I can, and it was Catholic. Like I can answer damn near every question, right? So I want Rome to ask the questions and just to give a quick interview, a quick rundown of how you got to where you are with the original barbershop, the original apparel, and Rome.
Yeah, man. So. We got a special guest here, Carl Littles. For those that don't know, I'm gonna kick it off. Truman gave him a brief introduction, but introduce yourself for those that don't know you in the city. Who you are, where you from, and what do you do?
How you doing? I am Carl Littles. They call me Carl the Barber. They've called me Baby Carl.
Baby C.
Baby C. I still hear it from time to time.
Yeah.
I am a Las Vegas native, born and raised on the east side of Las Vegas.
Give us the streets.
Give us the streets.
Hold on, because I think we all are from Vegas, so give us the streets.
So these streets, a friend of mine, Narada, call him Narada from Nevada. He put some shirts together and put east side on there. And the east side is from Tropicana to Craig.
Yes, sir.
And from Pecos to Nellis.
Yes, sir.
And,
okay, you speaking it right.
Yeah. So I grew up over there. Went to Fremont. Went to El Dorado. L-Dog, man.
Sundays.
Back when late night hoops was full effect.
Bro, I posted on Facebook, bring back late night hoops. City of Las Vegas, bring back late night hoops.
For our next interviewee, we actually got something planned for late night hoops. So,
okay.
I mean, you couldn't, and this was before social media.
Yes.
Oh, way before.
Packed out.
You would hear
Kids,
about it.
Y'all don't even know social media back then.
Oh, man. And I'm a barber of 18 years.
Wow.
November 19th, 2017, I became a licensed instructor. Very few barber instructors in the state of Nevada. I'm pursuing to do more seminars, education seminars.
Yeah.
Eventually, in the future, of course, open up a barber college. And right now, I'm hustling and motivating.
That's what's up.
That's what's up. So I mean, you and I talked a little bit earlier today. So I mean, for those that still don't know, you own a shop right now. But tell us about kind of like that progression between starting out and where you started at getting into the barber business and where you like what got you to the ownership.
So first couple of years of being a barber, I was at Studio One, which is in Nucleus Plaza. The Heritage is right next. It used to be right next door.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people don't know this type of stuff, but when you born and raised in Vegas,
so many things have changed, man.
So many things have changed.
Plaza, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I remember.
Across the street was Larry Sight and Sound at the time.
Sir.
I got my first breakthrough
Right behind
at Studio One. I had the first chair. I did that for 4.5 years, and then eventually moved on and went to Masterpiece Barbershop. Stayed there and was a manager at Masterpiece for about 11 years.
Shout out to Marcus Allen.
Yep, absolutely. Got it. Of course, took me underneath his wing and showed me the way. After working at Masterpiece as a manager, I kind of got the feel of how a barbershop's supposed to be ran, how I'm supposed to market myself, how I'm supposed to motivate other barbers in the shop, take barbers underneath my wing as well. And I learned to do that there. And then I eventually made the decision, took a leap of faith, opened up the original barbershop in 2015, I believe. And we started off as a 6-chair shop.
Okay.
And the walk-ins were crazy. Everybody was booked. We were doing appointments. Everybody was booked. I would walk to the store, and I'm just scratching my head because I see walk-ins walking out. I'll go out. I would chase them. Right? Give me a minute. Give us a minute. We'll get right to you.
Right.
After so long, I start seeing that spot next door to us. It was empty. And I was like, man, a friend of mine was like, Carl, man, you should just knock down that wall. And I'm like, man, I'm on my last couple dollars, Nick. Right. I said, man, I just opened up this six-chair shop. And he was like, man, I'm telling you, man, you can do it. So I knocked down the door.
That's what's
knocked
up.
down the wall.
Yes,
and put 7 more chairs in there, which is, I'm pretty sure, one of the biggest barbershops in Las Vegas. It's a 13-chair shop. I have 14 barbers, 2 Cosmos share station. With the help of social media, with the help of real hungry barbers, good friends. I have family and close friends in the shop. We market the shop and we pushed it.
It's popping.
It's a true blessing.
And like Carl been my partner. I already told you it's almost 30 years, right? It's just my brother-in-law's a barber, so that's my barber in the family. But as I've been making it intentional to be around those who is pushing the agenda forward, like, you know, your worth is like the 5 people closest to you. Like, I've been making it a point just to pull up on the homie, to like, and he, in case y'all don't know, he on Alexander and Tenaya. I live on Hualapai and Sunset, and our office is on Sunset and 215. I make sure every 2 weeks, sometime I'm gonna pull up, and it's popping in there, and you know, barbershop culture is definitely a big part of hip hop culture. I'm gonna get back to Rome, but it's something that I remember. Like, you brought up Nucleus Plaza, and before it was Studio One, it was Nucleus Plaza Barbershop, and when I was a kid, my pops, he's a West Side dude, and he knew everybody doing anything in Nucleus Plaza. So that was our barbershop. And then Mike, Timo, and Kurt, they was up in there. They was the youngsters in the shop. And when they got in there, Mike started cutting my hair. And then after a few years, they are the first group of young dudes that I could remember to open up a barbershop. And they moved, and it was off the West Side, because when I was a kid, when we was young, all the black barbershops was on the West Side. They had one, and this, I'm bringing this up because I want you to touch on this. We talked about it the other day. It was only one barbershop outside of the West Side, and it was on Civic Center in Cheyenne in North Las Vegas, right? Yes, sir. So Mike and Tim, they went and took a cut above the rest, and they was on Washington and Decatur. Yeah. I remember telling my grandma, Big Mama, Mike and them on Decatur and Washington. And she like, I don't know how you getting your hair cut.
On Decatur and Washington, too.
And they moved over there like my freshman year. And it kind of like it put a strain on me how to get there. But my homeboy down the street, his mom, he had an older sister that drove. Shout out to Mark Romano. His older sister or his mom even would get us up there, get our hair cut with them, and I think that they kind of paved the way. For young dudes to they kind of like set the model.
Absolutely.
And because we was allowed to be in Nucleus Plaza with the older dudes, it was hard for us for them to be them and with the loud talk and the conversation, it was different because got to respect our elders. But then when they got their shop, it was popping, and it was off the west side. So you being on Alexander and Sinead, that's something we talked about because that area was needing a barbershop. So that kind of helps you take it.
It's we get walk-ins. I mean, this Saturday we had, and I'm not even exaggerating, we had about 17 walk-ins before 11.
That's crazy.
It was 17.
That's crazy.
It's not a lot of barbershops in that area. And that's really a growing area.
Oh, Northwest is gonna pop.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there when we was reading the waiting list. I said, man, it's 17. It was 17 walk-ins this morning. And you got to remember, we have young barbers that. My thing is now, it's not. I'm not taking in no veteran barbers at this moment. That's not what I'm focused on. Yeah, which is cool. Just for the simple fact that the ones that we have, we established the original barbershop.
Yeah,
it's not just a one-man show. This was a group effort, and the younger barbers that are coming around us, they're looking up to us and they're watching how we move. They're watching how we built our clientele up, and they're watching how we treat our clients with customer service and the service that we provide. So. The younger barbers, we enjoy showing them what we're doing.
Yeah,
that's like that. I tell my daughter all the time, either it's in you or it's on you. When I get home and I take this original shirt off, I'm still an original barber. I'm still a barber at heart. I'm still on social media trying to figure out ideas. I'm still writing my game plan down for my seminars and my episodes and my seminars. I'm writing everything down. It's in me.
Right. Yeah. It ain't something that you just doing.
No,
for sure.
Exactly.
Nah, bro, I done sat on the speaker. Like, we ain't gonna go back there.
Come on, man.
I done sat on the speaker. Before homecoming, I need to get tight real quick.
Shout out to Bombay and Larry.
Yes, sir.
Of course. Yo, Lee.
Oh man, to the heart of it, I had the league in my room, sitting on the bed.
Getting tight,
and I turned the speaker on, and that's beating. And then I had the long mirrors you buy at Walmart. I had them on the wall sideways,
ready to go.
The Iowa stereo.
Iowa,
come on, now.
Come on, don't talk to me about that Iowa stereo.
Come on, man.
Hey, I done sat at the dude crib because I've been knowing him, and his daddy let me in. I fell asleep on the couch waiting on him.
My dad paid me. He paid me.
I got to get this fade.
Truman is where did you come? Because Truman is. I said, I'm coming, Dad. And Truman asleep. True will fall asleep anywhere, so I'd come in the house. I'd come on, True, and we'll go back there. And I had Bombay in there. I had Larry in there. At this young age, they were showing support. The league was showing me support regardless.
Yeah, it's high school.
Yeah,
you was talented though. You were talented though.
I loved it.
So then let me ask you a question because now we're which I love this situation because now we're tapping into the business mindset, not just the fact of just cutting hair, right? So now we're talking.
Absolutely.
Now we're tapping into the business mindset of it. So what was the driving force that kind of got you, just made you say, I want to get in this industry, and make this a thing?
What drove me right to
or inspired or whatever you want to call it.
What inspired me was I'm gonna be honest. I had two great guys that I watched, and one of them was excellent at business, and one of them was excellent at cutting. Both lacked in each skill, of course, right? But shout out to Marcus Allen and shout out to Daryl Jones. I mean,
Valley View, that's my neighborhood,
right?
Daryl Jones.
I was about to say, you didn't maybe.
Oh
man, dude, I forgot about Daryl Jones. Him and Marcus Allen.
Yeah,
I came underneath them. And Marcus was, he was crazy. He motivated himself without blinking.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then I would look at Jones, and Jones would cut your dog. I mean,
I'm fresh.
I mean, he had everybody fresh. I
Bro.
mean,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yes.
And I sat back and I watched him. I would sit there for hours sometimes on Saturdays and to be packed. That's when it was first come, first serve. And I would sit there for hours, first chair. And I mean, and they just told me, Carl, just focus on making $100 a day. And I'm like, man, I just had a baby. You know, these guys were like, don't worry about it. Man, you not the only person that had a baby. Relax. Buck up, Bart.
I got a baby though.
Buck up, you know. So
I hear you, but I got a baby.
yeah, I got
right?
a baby. So you know, they constantly motivate me. And watching them, they were getting Red Lobster for lunch.
Right.
I'm going next door to the spot, getting chicken wings.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, hold on. Let me take a quick minute for those of you millennials. I'm not even gonna say millennials. I'm not even gonna say that. For you young ones that don't even realize, man, Red Lobster back then
Oh,
was
that was
rip.
gourmet.
Yeah.
That was gourmet.
I'm glad you said that.
That was gourmet, bro.
So him saying his buddies and the people he looked up to was eating the Red Lobster
For lunch, though.
For lunch.
Out the barbershop.
Out the barbershop.
Come on now.
I know that's 100%.
And I'm sitting there and
fact.
I got hot wing. I got wings, no fries because that's an extra $2.
Exactly.
You know.
That's that cost.
And these guys motivated. I mean, they had cars, and them guys big on cars. I mean, you got watching cars and
Motorcycles.
motorcycles.
They brought the motorcycle
Marcus
culture to
Stewart.
Vegas.
Marcus
They brought it.
The
They still
barbershop dudes brought
Yeah.
that
Shout out to-
motorcycle.
shout out to One Love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout out
and
to One Love.
that was all the motivation I need because, me being in the Capital League, we were developed as leaders. Period.
Period.
That's
Exactly.
what the whole Capital Leadership League was. To
Capital
develop
Leadership League.
And so when I seen that, and I realized I'm not just taking a back seat, but I'm being guided by these guys, and they're just showing me the ropes, and it was real motivational cutting over there at Studio One at the time.
Yeah.
It's that's what was more inspiring. And then at that time, them guys was buying houses. I'm trying to find my first apartment.
Right.
So
Right.
being that young and seeing them guys do all those things, man, it was great, and I'm blessed to even come.
To have been around
So,
it.
so what got you into just being a barber in itself? Like, was it happenstance, or was it like you? I think you kind of touched on it. It was one of the guys, but was it like
Me
I
wanting to cut hair.
don't want to flip burgers.
Yeah, I'm a leader, and I'm
Yeah.
an entrepreneur, and it's in my blood. And once I realized that I can actually make an honest living cutting hair, it was it. I knew I didn't want to go to college, which
Gotcha.
I should have. And I tell my daughter all the time, me opening up a business, I do lack things as far as if I went to school to get a business degree. I mean. But at the same time, through trial and error, you learn those things.
Yeah.
You learn those things and experience. And some people don't even take that leap of faith if they do get a college degree.
100%.
Yeah.
So I just tell my daughter the same way. But to touch back on that, me wanting to cut hair, my father was giving me a bowl cut.
Yeah.
And enough was
literal,
enough.
just-
Enough was enough. 7th grade, he tying a string around my head, and he making a
Line around it, yeah.
around.
Straight bowl cut, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
So of course I dibble dabble, and I would start cutting my brother's hair, and one of my close friends that passed away, rest in peace, Zach Hewitt. He was a boxer. And
Lil Zach.
Lil Zach was
my God.
He would knock on
Rest
my door
in peace.
rest in peace. He would knock on my door all day long for a cut. All day long.
I can't believe he
man.
said that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's
Me and Scott went to high school with Zach.
absolutely that was my best friend, man. He come
that's
pick me
crazy.
up.
I was there the night he got over at
on
the
that-
club
yeah.
on Flamingo and Pecos McLeod.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, we was in line. That's crazy. You
Yeah.
just said that.
Yeah, so
Lil Zach.
yep, those are those memories right there, man. What makes this journey just so much worthwhile,
Yeah.
And anybody out there that has the itch to be an entrepreneur, to do your own thing, and you're scared, you're nervous, you're supposed to be.
For sure.
You're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
That feeling is a good feeling.
It's natural.
It's natural, but it's a good feeling when you overcome that.
I tell my football players, they get out there. Cause now I'm coaching 7 and 8 year olds. It was the craziest thing this weekend. First time I ever had a game type activity with 7 and 8 year olds. I learned more in those couple scrimmage games than I've learned coaching football for the last 9 years. But I always tell them, like, if you ain't nervous, I heard Terrell Owens saying, if you ain't nervous, you ain't ready.
Man. Man.
Like if it don't mean enough to you if you ain't nervous, because like nerves is like, what if I don't do it the right way? You nervous because you worried if you don't succeed, right?
Yeah.
So if you trying to be an entrepreneur and you sitting back, we took the leap of faith. We both real estate agents, independent contractors, same thing as with being a barber. So and me being a realtor 15 years and left being a realtor to go get a 9-to-5 because the market crashed. When it was time to come back, I had that same nervousness to say, damn, like what if I don't close?
Right.
And I gotta provide for my family. Like when I was a realtor in the beginning, I ain't had no family. I was 23 years old, single, living, kicking it. But now, being a father and a husband, it was really like, you gotta make it all on your own. Like, and my wife, she get paid, cool. And it's something that I even say, like, because she get paid, cool, don't make it a crutch for me to say I ain't gonna go get it. Because with owning your own business, and you said it about going to college. I went to college. I got my associates. I didn't even stay to get my bachelor's, and I got my associates online with University of Phoenix after like I needed 4 credits and didn't go back to school to get it. But I like Gary Vee. Right?
Oh man, I love Gary Vee.
And I try. So I got my son. He's a books dude. I told him, man, you get straight A's, I'm gonna give you $2,500. If you get straight A's for every report card this year, your senior year, I'm gonna give you $2,500. You end the year with straight A's, and he got straight A's so far. He counting the days away.
Oh yeah, he like that money.
My oldest daughter, books ain't her thing. So Gary Vee be on like, it's so much money to be made, social media
around it,
digital money. Like, find something you're passionate about. And like, this is something you did without, 20 years ago.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, that's something you was passionate about. Like, we give me $3, $5 for haircuts. You feel me? And you stuck with it all this time, and look what you building. Like, and I'm proud of you, dog. 100%.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Question?
Yeah. So my question is, I mean, especially from a business standpoint, because as we know, like, as Truman said, like, we're in real estate. You're in barbershop. You own a barbershop. It doesn't matter where you come from a standpoint of owning a business. At the end of the day, you got to find clientele, right? So I know you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but like, what is it that's a driving force for you to find that clientele? Like, where do you feel like you get your business from, and what are you doing to keep business coming in?
Okay, absolutely. You have to have a great location.
Yeah.
That's big. Unless you're a well-established barber, I always tell all my barbers that are established, I said, if anybody wants to get cut by you, they'll find you. If you're downtown, down the alley, they'll find you.
Okay.
And I need Truman to cut my hair.
Absolutely.
Where is he at? I'm going to search high and low for him.
Okay.
For a young barber coming in the industry right now, it's big for social media for you to market yourself. Business cards is a must. Let everybody know what you do everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. Find some way to make people know that you are a barber. There's so many ways you can throw it in the conversation.
Yeah.
Not only that, flyers, doing the footwork.
Yeah.
I'm still at high school games putting flyers on cars.
Oof.
I'm still doing it.
And how long you been in business?
18. I've been in business 3 years, but I've been a barber 18 years, and I'm still doing that. I'm still posting pictures every morning. Every morning, I'm still posting them. I'm still getting digital flyers. I'm still doing the MLK parade.
Yes.
I'm still doing my annual back to school drive. Me and Ishay Smith.
I went to elementary school with Ishay. Shout out Ishay.
Steven Jackson. We've been doing J Foundation. We've been
another
doing another Kappa League. And we've been doing, and we're going to add on Dwayne Murray, which is the owner of State Farm.
Another Kappa League. Went to high school with Dwayne.
Yeah, it's a lot of entrepreneurs that came out of the Kappa League.
Yeah, that's what they taught us.
They taught us to be leaders.
Yes, sir.
And I get together with doing those things and word of mouth. Letting people know that hey, tell somebody.
Yeah.
And they're gonna tell once you hone your craft and you critique everything that you're about to do. my customer service has to be great. I have to know about the current events going on. I got to know about sports. I'm in on all that right now.
Yeah.
Forever though. It's been for years that I've been doing this, but you got to continue doing it, and you got to be consistent doing it. You can't stop.
Right.
You cannot stop.
Yeah, and being in on everything is because, like, you got to have a conversation. A lot of people come to barbershop for the vibe.
Yeah.
Like, not only does this guy cut my hair the right way, but it's the vibe when I'm in there. It ain't it like what you see in the movie Barbershop. Shout out to Ice Cube. Like, that's reality.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the best portrayals of reality in fiction, because especially with having the one female barber. It was one female barber over at Nucleus Plaza.
Angie. Shout out to Angie, man.
You feel me?
Angie's been cutting for years.
So it kind of like you have to be up on current events, because how else are you gonna break the ice? You feel me? Somebody ain't just like sit in the chair. I took an Uber the other day, and I'm talking about this. I got in the car and he was like, "Good evening, brother." I was like, "What up?" And that's all he said the whole trip. Right, and that's kind of uncomfortable.
It is.
So, like, you got to know the business you're in, and because of that being the business that you're in, and like, that's the vibe that, because you've been in the barbershop when you was young, and we all know, like, we looked up to this dude or that dude. He was the cool dude in the barbershop. This dude was the loud one. He knew the sports. That's OG, right? And that vibe still carries. What I love is the fact that you got the new barbers. And we ain't such old dudes, but you feel me? Like, to be able to still, like, because you've been doing it so long, to be able to give the game and pass it down to the younger barbers, and like, you specifically look for it. Like, you're specifically like opening your doors to young, inexperienced barbers, and that goes so far. Like, I listen to Eric Thomas,
yes, sir.
The hip hop preacher, and one thing that he says is, like, people do things for the wrong reasons, and then they wonder why they ain't, like, blowing up. Like, why my business ain't successful when I need to get this bread, or I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to have this lifestyle. When you do something that you're passionate about, like that, when you put that passion behind it and it's organic and it's real, it's like it goes, and that's why you're having the success that you're having.
Not only that, and I definitely, will be, some of the things that I'll be educating young barbers about in the near future. It will be your communication with your client, the music in there. The music in there, how you greet them when they walk in the door. When you do appointments now, for a long time, it wasn't no such thing as appointments.
Never. I sat in the barbershop 4 hours before.
Yeah. That was
a long time.
I guess that's why I don't go to the barbershop.
Yeah, we've sat in.
I guess that's why I don't go to the barbershop, man.
But them days are over now with the apps, and right now we're on Booksy.
Really,
and the whole shop's on Booksy, and you'll go in there and you'll search the original barbershop. All 13, 14 barbers will come on right in line, and you'll book. And then when the walk-ins come in, because everybody's not, my older clients, I don't make them do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I can put it in manually myself, which is fine. But anybody tell me, oh man, I can't. You work in Facebook.
Yeah.
You working? You're tagged. You'll figure it out
for sure.
And the way we treat our clients when they walk in the door, them walk-ins walk in the door, you got to greet them right away. How you doing? Good morning.
That's good service.
Good afternoon. Are you a walk-in? Or you have an appointment? Who are you with? Give us 1 minute, we'll be right with you. You have to work on the spiel. Young barbers out there, work on your spiel. Okay. Work on your spiel. Look in the mirror and say, hey, how you doing?
Learn how to talk to people.
It's like doing script practice.
I was just about to say, so scripting at this point for you is something that you feel big is big for you. Customer service
is big.
In that sense.
Yes, and greeting. When you greet somebody, they're surprised. You'll get somebody that walks in the door and they're blown back that I
took the time.
Said hi.
Took the time to say hello.
Just to say hi?
Let me jump in real quick.
I'm saying, wait a minute.
Let me jump in real quick because I feel like I'm just listening to this guy right here. I've known of Carl for a long time. I know some of the barbers in his shop. great shop, and I love what you're doing, young brother. I could take it back to the days of Mac. Anybody remember Mac with the curl? I mean, Mac would hit you in the chest.
Right behind him.
Hair Unlimited. Mac would hit you in the chest.
J Street.
Oh yeah, you.
This guy right here.
89106.
Yes, sir.
Mac would hit you in the chest with some bubble gum. Within 5 minutes of you walking in the door, and that's what I loved about Mac. But now, if you was going to
the
see
long
Mac,
ones.
yeah, the long one, with the extra flavor, you feel me? But if you was going to see Mac, you might be in there a while. You might be in there waiting a while. So I love the fact that these brothers are instituting appointments. You can go on and set it up for yourself. I'm definitely gonna come by and check out your shop. I mean, I'm a loyal customer of Blade Masters. You know, shout out to Darnell and John, who's been my barber since I was in high school, since I got out of high school. But I definitely want to come and check it out because I think that you guys are doing something good. I do have one question for you, if you don't mind, Jerome.
Absolutely, go ahead.
My 20-year-old, you know, being a barber is something that he's always been interested in. So what would you have to say for young individuals who want to look to get into that
Took the
field?
question right out of my mouth. I was going to ask you.
What type of advice could you give our listeners? Okay. What can they? Because I know you're not quite set up yet to open up your own school, but what advice would you give them right now?
Right now, I would tell any young man that was interested of becoming a barber, is go inside both barber colleges.
Okay.
Talk to the instructor, see what kind of feeling you get, because you're going to be with this instructor, and you're going to have to have chemistry with this instructor to learn, and you want them to take you under your wing and show you the craft,
right?
And break down the steps. So find the right college for you at this moment. It's like anybody when you go searching for a college. You're going to go to ASU. You're going to go. This vibe is better for me. The chemistry here is a little bit better for me. Go in there. Be prepared to respect the process. It takes time. It takes a year and a half, 2 years to build your clientele. Be patient. Enjoy that moment, because I tell my young barbers one thing for sure is like, once you're booked, it's no being unbooked.
Right.
So they're, oh man, Carl, you're cutting all day, man. How do I do that? I said, man, relax. Focus on giving that service, that full, good service to your client. And once you're booked, you cannot be unbooked. You can't, or you'll have a bunch of angry clients with you.
Yeah, you got to take care of the clients because they feed you.
They feed you, you know. And I got clients that come every week. And now haircuts, they're not
cheap. Yeah,
man. Listen,
these haircuts now, like we charge.
I just get the love. I ain't gonna even tell y'all what I pay.
Right.
But I was in your shop. I was in your shop the other day, and I heard you say something. You was talking, and somebody had called on the phone, and I heard something rumble off like $25, and I'm like,
wow.
Ooh. Yeah. I paid. I remember paying $9 for a fade.
I thought it was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And paying that $5 to you was a lot cooler than paying that $9. Because I tell my dad I need $10 for the barbershop because he gonna make me tip $1 at least, right? $10 for the barbershop, and I go get $5 the car. That's $5 in gas money, $5 for whatever we finna do for the weekend. But I like the fact that you talked about how to get yourself started.
Get yourself started. Once you pass that Nevada State barber test,
right?
You get yourself 1,000 business cards, which is $40. You get yourself right.
Hey, this is free game right here. Y'all better come on, man.
Matter of fact, I don't even support these guys, but digitalinsightprinting.com. They'll do 1,000 business cards for like $50. Boom, done.
Hey, overnight. No, same day.
Same day.
You get it in before noon. I think I even paid like $30-$40. So like that's the low. That's probably the most minimum marketing expense that you'll have. Ever. And it has such a big impact. It's the impact.
And you would also put yourself a social media page together, which is free. I think one day
free 99.
I'll get back on that. They're gonna charge us one day.
They are.
You see, they already start with the net neutrality, right?
Yeah,
so
I'm not gonna go down.
That's a whole other conversation for another day.
Of social media and the ad space that is available to those that choose to do it for free and or choose to pay. Because that's a whole different conversation. The one thing I think I want to point out is what you said was enjoy the process.
Man,
What is that like? Let's expound on that. Like, what does that mean for you? Because here's the thing. I think a lot of people, when they come in, when they think that, and I see it, and I know you see it from a real estate industry and from a barbershop industry and just business as a whole. When they see successful people, they think they see the successful side that's being done. They don't see the stuff that it took to get there. So for you to say enjoy the process. Hold on, let me have him answer that question. Like, what would you say to somebody that says, I see what you're doing. You got a barbershop. You doing great things, and I see you all over social media and blah 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 and all this other stuff and whoop de whoop. How do I get in? But you say enjoy the process. What does that mean for you?
And I was touching bases. I was talking to my man earlier, Scott, about when I start my seminars. And that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to break down to these guys at the seminar. The seminar is going to be broken down to 1 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, letting the barbers know where they need to be at in this process.
I love that.
And one of the main things is finding where you need to be at as far as trusting the process. Sit there, get underneath somebody that is a mentor to you for that 0 to 5 years. Like you said, this is free game. A lot of people are scared to tell people this type of stuff because they don't want to see nobody do better than them.
They feel like they can come take some of my business.
It's enough. It's enough. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's enough. It's enough.
It's not even enough. It's so much.
And you always need a haircut.
Always.
Bro.
So
we should have brought your clippers today because I sure need one right now.
So 0 to 5 years, this process that you're going to be going through, you're going to be getting underneath somebody's wing, a mentor. Right. You're going to be trying to seal the deal on every walk-in that you get. You're going to be passing out business cards. You're going to be giving out business cards. When you have these business cards, I have my business card. My information is on the front. Carl Littles, the barber at the original barbershop. This is my social media page. On the back of it is how to book with me through Booksy. Yeah.
Oh, so everything you need,
it's
right
all
here.
in one. Yeah. It's all in one. So once I introduce myself, how you doing? My name is Carl.
You better be taking notes,
man.
This is free game,
man.
Free game.
How you doing? My name is Carl. I work at the original barbershop. You can take a look at my social media. Once you figure out if my services can apply to you, you can download the app Booksy, and there you have it.
Yeah.
What else do you need to say?
You have nothing else to say.
That's right.
And that process right there is the 0 to 5 years. There's so many things down the line. But after that, the 5 to 10 year is telling these guys, okay, now I'm here. Now let me take care of outside of my life, everything outside of cutting hair. And that's as far as buying myself a house, buying myself a car, establishing.
You giving them too much.
I gotta stop.
You giving them too much.
All right, I'll stop. Wait a minute. I'm gonna get with this guy.
But let's not even stop there because here's the thing. For those
you gotta pay for the seminar.
And I'm sorry. I'm a businessman.
Seminar.
I'm a businessman in my own right, but at the same time, man, it's like, look, at the end of the day, it's not about what you're doing right now. So understand this. It's not about cutting hair. It's not about selling real estate. It's not about just being in business, people. It's about what it can do for you. And that's what he's trying to put you on right now, right?
Yes.
So the end result impact, and it's not even the end result, right? It's
the in between.
It's that in between. It's that ever going process.
Absolutely.
You know what? I own a barbershop, but it's not about just the barbershop. I want to create a barber school because I want to teach the people underneath me.
Yes.
And not even that. I just want to have a living for my family. I want to take them on a vacation. I want to do this and I want to do that.
This dude fresh from Amsterdam. Listen.
Fresh
from Amsterdam.
It's about the dash. It's about the dash.
But he's able to do that.
My mom said
he's able to do that through what he did in his business, right? So he wasn't able to do that to say, I just want to be a barber.
I just want to go make money today.
Yeah.
Like that's what I wanted to say when you was talking about earlier. I didn't mean to cut you off, but like that because we talk about Instagram and getting the business started. Like IG, people think stands for Instagram. It's really standing for instant gratification.
Ooh.
Right?
Speak on it.
Because people see your life as you project it on Instagram, and they want that today. So they're not about the process. And I believe that everyone falls victim to it at some area in their life where they wish shit could happen today as opposed to having to work towards it.
Absolutely.
The mindset in order to be successful is to understand the process.
Absolutely.
And to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Emory Jones is Jay-Z, one of his closest partners. He did 10, 12 years in the joint, and came out, and he's like the head of Rock Nation, like fashion, and has his own deal with Puma and New Era hats. And his hashtag is trust the process, or no, greatness is a process.
It
right?
is.
Greatness is a process. Like, it's very few freaks of nature that are just born to do what it is that they're successful at. It takes a grind. It takes work. It takes a process. It takes learning. It takes seminars. It takes going to class. One thing that I learned being with Keller Williams is in order for your business to grow, you have to grow.
Yes.
Your business is only going to grow as far as you do.
Absolutely.
And all the different things that you're talking about that you do with your business, the shit that we talk about in our trainings at our office, it applies universally. I'm sure it's some things you and Scott could talk about that applies to both of your businesses. The thing is about honing the skill and staying dedicated and consistent. I'll come right on record and say consistency at certain things is like hard for me in my business and selling real estate. I've never had to go after business. Business always comes to me, and it still does today. 100% of my business comes from referrals. But sitting around the office with Jerome and see how Jerome just go attack it. Jerome, and I can't quote where his business comes from, but Jerome will go and get a cold call business. It's one of my partners in my office, Nick. He will sit on the phone and go at cold call business. But it's about doing that shit every day.
Every day.
Repetition.
Right?
Every day.
It's about giving your business card out every day and saying, this is what I do. I snagged up a buyer the other day, just being at the store. I had my suit on when I was in my blue suit the other day. And dudes, I'm trying to hold the door for him, just being polite. He's like, oh, no, I'm cool. I'm not going in. And I'm like, cool. I let the door go. He said, hey, man, that's cool. I like that blue suit, man. That's cool color on you. I said, oh, man, I appreciate that. Who do you use for real estate?
There you have it.
And that's a question I rarely use, but I've been on this. I've been knocking 100 doors a day, like really trying to take my business to the next level. So I'm in the mode, right? So who you use? And he give me his spiel real quick, and I got his phone number, email address. I get if I had his home address, we call that the trifecta. Yes, sir. And I would have everything, but even. Like how you say it applies to your business, it applies to my business.
Absolutely.
It applies to Scott's business. You gotta self-promote and be dedicated and focused on growing your business. Or
absolutely. If you're trying to be successful at something, what you spoke on, Mac, what you spoke on, Romy, what you spoke on, that's kind of the universal language. Yeah. You always want to find somebody who can teach you something and join yourself at their hip. I'm a hotelier. I've been in the hotel business for 20 plus years. I wouldn't say that I'm not an entrepreneur, but I enjoy what I do.
Man, we had the franchise company. We had Empire Inc. Come on.
Exactly. But at heart, I like customer service. So I love what you touched on earlier.
Sahara.
Shout out to the Sahara. No doubt about it. What you know about that place?
Tangiers.
Gosh, I forgot what I was getting ready to say. See, you took me on a roller coaster ride. If you want to be successful, what we're telling you guys, if you want to be successful, first figure out what it is that you want to do. Once you have that passion for something and it's not like work, it makes it so much easier. Find somebody who can teach you the game. Once you know the game, then you can kind of branch out and go from there. I love what my younger brother's doing. He's a trainer. He's probably one of the best in the city, and he's always putting himself out there, man. And he comes to your shop. And
former Capital League member.
Shout out to King.
Shout out to King.
We gonna get
King in here.
To the Prince. Where's my son, the Prince? But yeah, man, I'm so happy that you came through today, man. I've been seeing you on social media, man. It was a pleasure to really kind of reconnect with you. Absolutely. And I definitely plan to come to your shop.
Man, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to seeing you come through.
Definitely.
And that's a lot of these young barbers are they want instant gratification.
Yeah,
Yes.
of course.
And there's nothing wrong with it because they're hungry, they're eager,
Right.
to
You
win.
I mean, we understand
We
it.
understand.
Like I'm saying,
Yeah.
at some area, people want to lose weight. Tomorrow, I want to be like 150 pounds and they weigh 220.
can't do that.
They can't do
right?
it.
It's just in your mind. You feel me though? Like people want
can't
that,
do
but
it. Stop
but
it.
you just have to understand that. Yeah, I might want that, but look at when you look at the length of what the average lifespan is. That's 100. Like we almost getting to 100 years old on average, right? To do something in a year and a half is damn near instant gratification.
Yeah, it is.
So
No, not even
like
damn near, it
understand that. Like to say that it didn't take me 99 years to get there, it took me a year and a half. Like 1,000 days, like less than 1,000 days. What's that? A year and a half is like 500 days.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like
say
500 days.
days.
500 days, and I accomplished the goal that could really set me up for the rest of my life. Chill out.
It's worth it.
And,
It's totally
and just
worth
to
it.
touch bases on that question that you brought, another thing, young barbers, that you need to do if you're working at somebody's shop is practice the things that you would do if it was your shop. Right. And those are
That's
big
good
things
advice.
that I did when I was working at Masterpiece.
Yes.
I was the manager there. I made sure the shop stayed clean. I made sure everything that I'm doing now, as far as inside the shop,
Yeah.
I was doing that. I was practicing that at Masterpiece.
When you all you had was a booth.
Yeah, when all I had was the booth. So
Yeah.
I was taking out the trash, and I was sweeping the floor, and I was making sure the bathrooms had toilet paper, paper towels.
The little things.
The little things.
Yeah.
You can't run a business if you, and
No pun intended.
mothers, right?
Right.
Mothers are going in the bathroom and there's no paper towels or toilet
Right.
paper.
Right.
Yeah.
If you see it, oh man, that ain't my shop.
That's a reflection of you, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
One thing that we talk about is running your real estate business like it's a business. You're not a real estate agent. You have a real estate business. And for barbers, like you're not a barber. I have a barbershop business. Like my booth is my business.
Yes.
Like
I'm a business, man.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
'Cause you can get booted off that thing real quick.
and I co-op the space with other business owners.
Right.
So collectively, if we all want to grow, then we need to operate like
Business.
this hours.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
And then that's that's things that I practiced when I was coming up. I got a list of things, and like you said, I can't give the game all the way away.
No, I don't want you to.
and I won't
Yeah,
do
no.
it. But those are things.
For those that want the full business, the full breakdown, please reach out to Carl Littles. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have a social media information available for you.
And the seminars will be coming real soon called Rise Together.
I like
I
it.
just want to go just to soak up some game.
I'm gonna check him out for sure.
love it.
And I heard you mention that back to school drive earlier. That's something that we definitely gonna partner in on you with this school year. We talked about that. A couple other projects. Did you, Ron? Do you have any other questions? I think this probably gonna be our longest episode. We're a little extended
Yeah,
tonight.
we ran over, so I'm not gonna answer the ending question that I wanted to ask. So we'll save that for a later date. But I think that at the end of the day, the business people that are watching this is got enough game.
Yes.
To at least get themselves going. Here's what I would say is and we're gonna go round robin on this one. What's the one thing that you would tell a fresh starting, wet behind the ears, I'm ready to get into business, I just want to do my thing, business owner? Mm-hmm. What's the one thing from where because we've all been in the game for a long time, we've all seen our ups and downs. What's the one thing that you would tell somebody today? JB, let's go.
I would make sure that they figured out what it is that they wanted to do first. What is it that you're passionate about? Where is your passion lie? And I had this conversation with my 20-year-old. Why do you want to cut hair? And he gave me some great insight to why, and it was along some of the similar lines that what Carl talked about today. So I know that that's his passion. So my first question would be the number one question: what is it that you want to do, and why?
I love that. Carl?
A young man, a young woman, I would tell them, I'm reading that right there.
Right.
Stay humble, work hard.
Yeah.
You know,
Real
smile
talk.
often. You know, stay loyal. Be honest.
Real talk.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
Shout out to Scott.
shout out to Scott, man. A little bit of all that. You know, you have to find it. You know, like find it. Is it in you? Or is it just on you? You know, are you gonna go home and you're gonna do your homework? You do research on everything that you want to do, the insides and outs. I'm trying to comb through being a barber. I'm staying in my lane.
Let's talk.
I tell people all the time. I say, it's not like I'm changing tires. I don't change tires. I'm not a mechanic.
And you're not trying to be.
I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to be an original
Carl the Barber.
Original barber.
Yes, sir.
You know?
100%.
So that's what I would tell them. Just find it and go for it.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
take a leap of faith. It's going to be scary.
Yeah, I like that.
I tell them two things. I tell them to be consistent. Consistency is the father of trust. Anything that you do on a consistent basis.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Is something that I'm going to trust that you will do. So consistency is the father of trust, and then I tell them that their network is their net worth. Something that I didn't take as part of my business early in real estate is a database. And even like you're saying, giving out business cards is something that like to create a database. Like book me through Booksy, my information's here. Because once you contact me, now I can capture that and I can stay in contact with you. That's something that that I'm definitely applying to my business right now.
All right, man. For me, I would have to say that, you know, really at the end of the day, from a business aspect, when it's all said and done, make sure that and I think actually, JB, you may have said it too, is like make sure you're passionate about it. Like so many people that get into any industry that just sounds right, and they look at the shiny object, or they look at the end result. And the end result is the person with the money and the cars and the houses and the this, that, and the other. That's not what it is, people. Like, understand that what you're looking at is a person who worked their asses off and got to where they are. And unfortunately, the media has exploited that, and they've made that the big thing, and that's not it. Understand what your passion is, find your passion point, and make that the thing that makes you the money at the end of the day. Because when you're passionate about what you do and about what you choose to do every single day of the week, it means nothing in the great times, when you're going through day to day, but it means the most when it's tough. Like, when the shit hits the fan and you just don't feel like getting out of bed, that passion is that passion of what you choose to do is what's going to drive you to get out of bed. So at the end of the day, like Carl, I mean, most people don't want to be a barber to be a barber. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to be a barber to teach other people to do other things, right? And so find what's passionate, what your passion is, and that's really it, man. I can go on for hours about that, but I won't. And that's it, man. Find your passion. And I thank you guys for listening to For the Culture podcast. And this is episode 3.
Episode 3. Yes,
man.
sir.
Already.
We 3 episodes in this thing. Again, just want to thank Carl for being our first guest interviewee. I appreciate the conversation.
First and not last.
I salute what you're doing. I'm going to always come and support you. We got some big ideas coming in the future that we're going to partner up with, and just continue to push the culture forward out here in Las Vegas.
No doubt.
So
I appreciate you guys. What you guys are doing here is making guys like me motivated to do a little bit more.
For sure. I appreciate that.
So you guys keep this going, and I'm definitely going to stay tuned in what you guys got
Bet
going.
that.
Most definitely.
That's what it is.
All right, man. So for Real Estate Rome, for JB, my guy Carl, Scott Vera at Level 9 Studios, we For the Culture. We out.
Till the next one.